Good morning everyone, happy Vlogmas day 7. So we are ready for a brand new week then, and I uploaded my vlog from last week this morning, so if you've watched that I hope you enjoyed it. So I'm sat in the car at the moment. I've just dropped the boys off at school and I'm about to go in and do my weekly food shop at Aldi. So I usually do that on a Monday morning to get it out the way. And then what I'm hoping to do today is when I get back is obviously unload it all and pack it all away and then go for a run. So I didn't manage to get out yesterday. It was just a full-on day with the children at home really, that everybody was a bit tired and grumpy. So I didn't manage to get out. So I'm hoping to go for a bit of a further run today, maybe about 7 or 8 miles, see how I go. It's a bit dreary at the minute, so hopefully it will stay dry. It's just quite foggy. So we'll see how I go. But yes, that's all really that I've got planned at the moment. I've got some boring housework to do. I need to clean the bathrooms and do some dusting and a bit of hoovering, and get the dinner ready for this evening. So that's all I've got planned for today. So I shall go in now and do my food shop, and I shall catch up with you a little bit later.
Right, so I'm back from my run. I had a really good one today. I'm really pleased. It was just one of those runs that I felt like I could run forever. I did about 7.5 to 8 miles, I think. I'm not 100% sure because my battery on my Fitbit decided to die halfway round, so that was a bit annoying. But yeah, it was just really nice, really cold out there, but dry and still. I didn't take you with me because the route I did was quite boring. It's just mainly along main roads, so there was quite a lot of traffic, so that's one side of it that wasn't very nice today. But yes, anyway, I really enjoyed that, and I'm now back and showered. So I'm just about to start prepping my lunch. I'm going to be having an omelette with ham, mushroom and onion in it, and then I'm going to start prepping a little bit of vegetables and stuff ready for dinner this evening. We're having roast chicken tonight, and I've got the chicken in the slow cooker at the moment because I cook it on high all day, and it literally means that the meat falls off the bone. It's absolutely brilliant, and the reason I do that is because my oven's not very good, and we can't have a new oven until we do the rewire. So I'm going to get the veg prepped for that, so it's ready for me to just sort of put in the roasting tin later on and get that cooked. And I usually end up making 2 dinners from this meal because I have enough leftover roast chicken to make a chicken curry for later in the week, so that's really good. And then I'm just going to quickly do a few jobs around the house before I have to pick up the boys, so not a lot of housework is going to get done today, unfortunately, but you know, that's the rest of the week. I had some really lovely news last night. One of my close friends who I used to work with, we had our firstborns at the same time, and she's now just had her second baby, a little girl called Florence Autumn, and I thought that was a beautiful name. So I'm really happy for her, absolutely over the moon. I know it's been a sought after baby for quite a while. So I am actually making a little girl's dress for her, so I'll show you that a little bit later. So I shall crack on with my lunch now, and I'll catch you in a bit.
So I said I'd show you the games that we play on a regular basis. If you're interested, it may be that you like to play board games with your family at Christmas time. So here are some really good recommendations. So the first one on the top, you can play this from 2 to 5 players. It's called Carcassonne, and you basically have some land tiles that you place down on your turn, and you've got these little people that you place on the tiles. Let's see if it has it on the reverse here. So as you can see, yeah, you pop your little people on the tiles to claim different bits of land, and then you score as you go along. It's a really good game. I have to say it's quite addictive, and like I say, you can play it from 2 to 5 players. My son Harry, he's age 7 and he can play it with me absolutely fine. There is a junior edition, but I would recommend just having the adult version if you have somebody who is quite good with games. The next one is Splendor, and this one is for 2 to 4 players, and this is from age 10 upwards. Although it is, I think, yeah, you probably might be all right if you're age 10, but it's a bit harder than the previous game. Now this one, you have little tokens where you can purchase different cards with jewels on them and stuff, and you have to get so many by the end of the game. So you're in competition, obviously, with your opponents, but it is a really good game. On the back here, it shows you the tokens that you sort of accrue as you go along, and then you use those to purchase the cards. And then if you get so many of a certain like colour, then you can pick up these nobles as well, which earns you different points. There's like points on them. It's really quite hard to explain, but it is a really good game. Again, quite addictive. We took this on holiday with us, and we actually ended up playing like 3 times in a row one night. This one we actually bought for my son Harry for Christmas last year, and this is Quirkle. So again, you can have up to 4 players, 2 to 4 players, and it's aged 6+, and I would definitely say that's the right sort of age. So my husband and I, we play this together sometimes on an evening, and you basically have 6 little wooden tiles, and you have to make a format of either a collection of shapes or a collection of colours, and you're obviously playing against your opponent to try and score the most points, so you score as you go along. So on the reverse here, you can see the sort of layouts that you can do, and it tells you in the instructions, you know, how you get the points, etc. But that's a really good game, and yeah, my son Harry, he plays it with us as well. So the next one is definitely for, I'd say, older children up to adult, and I think there are further editions that you can get of this, that this isn't the only one. So this is Ticket to Ride, and for this one it is 2 to 5 players and aged 8 upwards, and it gives you a time sort of scale of how long the game takes. It's really good. So you have this map, and it's like a train map, and basically you have a set of trains, and then you have to get from one destination to another, and I think you have about 4 routes each to complete, and you're both obviously racing to try and get your routes completed before the others, and you have to use the cards to be able to lay the trains on the certain sort of areas of the track. Yeah, really good game, really like this one. So we again took this one on holiday, and we played that quite regularly outside in the sunshine. So these ones are more aimed at children, but we do play them as adults as well. So Dobble, if you've not seen this before, it's a really good game. It's got a load of cards in there, and on the reverse, they've all got pictures, and each one, there is one that will match. So you can see here, this one has the turtle that matches this one, and it's the first one to spot the matching picture, and then you obviously grab it, and then that would be your card, and then the next thing you can see that there's a dog on there that's the same. Now that looks pretty easy because I've pointed it out, but when you're playing, sometimes you cannot see for the life of you what the matching picture is, and there's different variations of the game in the instructions, and that's really good, and my twins can play that with us as well, so that's a really good one, Dobble. And then we recently had this from my mother-in-law. She sent it up for the boys, and this is for age 5 and upwards, but again, my twins can play it with instruction, with help from us. And it's a little bit like Snap, but you either can match the shapes or the numbers, and there are different variations of the game in the instructions as well, so you don't just have to stick to the one game. But yeah, it's really quite a good game. Even me and my husband have played it together, just us two together, you know. We're quite competitive. So lastly then we have Outfoxed, and this is actually specifically for children, but we've played it all together as a family. And this is aimed at age 5+, although my twins are quite easily enough able to play it. They're 4, and this is for up to 4 players. And you have to work out who the thief is. And then you have a load of suspects placed around the outside of the board, and you have to sort of eliminate the suspects by sort of finding out what different bits of clothing they're wearing. So you have to eliminate if they're, you know, if they're carrying a bag or not, an umbrella, if they're wearing glasses and things. Yeah, it's a really good game. So it's a cooperative whodunit game, which means that there isn't a particular winner. You all win together. You're all searching for the same resolution. You have to try and beat the fox. So the fox, if you don't manage to get some of the things right, I think the fox moves along this track, and you have to try and beat him before he gets down to the bottom. Yeah, it's really good. The boys absolutely love it, so I do recommend that if you've got children. So I've got all my vegetables, etc. ready for tonight's roast. I've got some parsnips there, probably way too many, but hey ho, never mind. We're having some broccoli, some carrots, and then there's the potatoes ready for boiling before being roasted. And then I'll quickly show you in the slow cooker over here in the corner. I've got the chicken in there, look. Can you see it's already pulled away from where it just falls off the bone? So I've had it going for, I think it's nearly 7 hours. I put it on this morning, and then it will keep warm for another 2 hours after it finishes at 34 minutes. Yeah, it's really good. And you just put it on a bed of tin foil at the bottom, and then a sprinkling of water goes in, and you literally, yeah, just put it on high for about 8 hours or so, and you can see it's just cooking really nicely. So I've got about 20 minutes until I have to go and pick the boys up from school, so I thought I'd show you quickly what I'm wearing. I forgot to mention earlier, this is a me made. It's the Hey June handmade Sheridan sweater, and there are some different variations with that pattern. So I've got the sort of high-necked version, and this one is really, really nice. It's very similar to the toaster sweater version 2, but actually it's got like a facing that sits really nicely, and you don't get sort of any of this excess fabric like you get on the toaster sweater. It has different variations, and the sleeves, I've gone for the bell sleeve option. I've added a decorative bias binding at the bottom there, just so I thought it just added a pretty sort of decorative touch. And then it just sort of comes down. I think I have added length actually to this because it was quite short. So yeah, it just comes to sort of my mid-hip, and I just really quite like that. So it's something a bit different with the sleeves, although they do get in the way when I'm washing up and that kind of thing. So I thought I'd quickly just show you the dress that I'm making for my friend's new little baby then. And it's just here. And this fabric, again, was gifted to by Minerva, as was this. So these will be going up on the blog. And I've nearly finished it. I'm about there. So it's just a lovely sort of lined bodice with a gathered skirt. I've got it just pinned at the back. So if I take the pin out, you'll see that it's not finished yet because I need to insert the zip. I've just lined it with some old fabric that I had, which I think was a bed sheet or something. Just thought it contrasted really quite nicely. And then I've just pinned it along there because I'm going to be hand sewing that lining down so it hides the raw edge of the waistline seam. So yeah, it's just a really cute sort of gathered skirted dress. And I really quite like the fabric as well. It's lovely sort of mustard and green colour. And I think that'll look really cute. So I've obviously got to hem it still as well. Right, so I'm just off to go and pick the boys up from school. And I'm not 100% sure if I'll get any filming in this evening or not. I'm not sure what my plans are, to be honest. Probably either a bit of sewing, or I might sit down in front of the TV and do a bit of knitting. I doubt I'll be playing a game with my husband because he didn't sleep very well last night. He doesn't sleep very well anyway, especially in the winter months when the clocks fall back. It messes with his body clock. He just doesn't sleep very well. And he was up at 3 this morning or something, he said. So he'll probably be too tired, and he's got a physical job as well, so he's always physically working all day every day and comes in from work quite tired on a regular basis. Yeah, so we might watch a film if he's got the energy to do that, as we've got Amazon Prime at the moment, which I accidentally pressed the button to have a 30-day free trial, and we've continued it throughout the month of December because we thought it will serve its purpose for having deliveries from Amazon for Christmas. And actually it's only $7.99 a month, and if you watch 2 movies a month, it kind of pays for it in itself. It's what you would usually pay for a DVD from the DVD shop back in the day. Yeah, we've watched some really good ones recently. So again, if you want any recommendations for films, then I can definitely give you a couple. We watched recently actually some really good ones, so I'll give you 2 really good ones to watch if you're interested. There was one that was called The Green Book. Now I won't go into the description of it all because I'll probably get it all wrong, but it's based on a true story about a pianist. Yeah, and it was just dead good, so I just really highly recommend that one. It got quite a lot of dry humour in it as well, so that was really enjoyable. And then the other one was The Professor and the Madman, another sort of true story, and that is based on the English dictionary when it first came out, how it sort of all came together and that kind of thing. And that's really quite an interesting story, I have to say. I wasn't really taken with it from the trailer, but I said, okay, I'll give it a go. But I really enjoyed it actually, so I do recommend you watching those 2. Anyway, I shall stop waffling and get on with my school run, and I shall either catch you later or tomorrow. Good morning, happy Vlogmas day 8. So today I've got quite an exciting day planned. I'm going to be logging on to Zoom when I get back after the school run, and I'm going to be having a sewing day with my swap share sew partner Lucy. So I'm really excited for that, as I don't usually do any sewing in the day whilst the boys are at school. It's usually just house chores and going out for my runs and things like that. So yeah, that's going to be really exciting. So I'm going to be sewing up my project that I'm doing specifically for that hashtag. challenge, so I'm really excited to do that today. I'm halfway through it, so I've not got much to do, and I think the deadline for it is actually the 12th, which is on Saturday, so I will actually be having an extra vlog up on Saturday to share my make, so I'm excited for that. So yes, I'm going to scoot down to the school, drop the boys off, quickly come back up and set up, and I won't be using that sewing table that I hurt my foot with because it's daylight today, so I can actually do it in the conservatory, so that'd be nice. I'll get set up in there. So I shall see you shortly. Right, I'm back from the school run and I'm all set up for my sewing session with Lucy. So I've got my sewing machine there, my overlocker there, I have my snacks just round the corner, my cup of coffee. So I'm all ready to go. I'm making the Emily Pinafore dress by Bobbins and Buttons. I've made it before, earlier this year. It's a little bit like the Tilly and the Buttons Cleo dress, but it's just a little bit more A-line, so it's more suitable for my shape. And I've just got it here on the table, so it's the bog standard sort of denim, which I really like, and I've just got the straps to do, the facings to attach, and to attach the side seams and then to hem it, and I am about there. What I'm wearing today is the Sew House 7 Toaster Sweater version 2, so it's very similar to the sweater I was actually wearing yesterday with the funnel kind of neck. But it's just a little bit more drapey around that section there, so I do prefer the Sheridan sweater that I was wearing yesterday because it's a better neckline. But this one I have actually lengthened by 4 inches, so I'll just see if I can show you. Yeah, it's lengthened quite significantly, 4 inches. It's got a stepped hem, and that's obviously 4 inches lengthened on the back as well. So yes, I'm looking forward to catching up with Lucy, so I shall catch you a little bit later on. Right, unfortunately, I think Lucy has actually forgotten our Zoom sewing session that we had scheduled for today. I know she's really, really busy with orders and stuff in her Etsy shop, so she's probably just completely forgotten about it. We didn't actually contact each other over the weekend, so it's not surprising. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, as I've already got it all set up, I am actually going to do a little bit of sewing still, get a little bit done on this dress as the deadline is this Saturday, catch up with a few of my other fellow sewing vloggers on their YouTube channels, and then I'll probably stop just before lunchtime and then crack on with a few other bits I need to get done. Well, I've had a fun morning doing my little bit of sewing, so I've got to the point now where I have to attach the facing to the top of my dress, put the straps on, and then I also just need to hem it, so I've just overlocked the edge and I'm going to attach some bias binding to the hem before I actually hem it. So I attach some bias binding to the bottom of my facing pieces, and I'm going to attach my little label that I showed you the other day. So I've got 2 different type of fabrics on the facing because Lucy sent me 2 fat quarters, and it just worked out that I could do one for the reverse and one for the front. Yeah, and I've attached a bias binding onto that. So really pleased with how that's looking so far. And I've attached, you know, the dress at the side seams as well. So it's all nearly finished really. So I'm going to pack it in for now because I've got to hoover the floor with all the threads. Need to wash the windows, hang the washing out, and get myself some lunch. Right, it's come round to that time again, so I've got to go and pick up the boys from school. It always comes around so fast. So I've had quite a productive day. After my sewing session, I hoovered up all those threads, etc., and just scooted around the house and did a bit of hoovering, and then I had my lunch. I've managed to clean the windows and also dust everywhere as well, so that's really good. I have been in contact with Lucy, so unfortunately she did forget about our sewing session this morning, but not to worry, we're going to have another session tomorrow, but in the evening instead, so looking forward to that. She actually thought it was scheduled for this evening. Yes, we just got our wires crossed. So I'll look forward to that as it'll give me a chance to do a bit more sewing on my dress and hopefully get it finished so I can do the vlog on Friday ready for upload on Saturday. So also just want to say to everybody who has commented on my Vlogmas video, thank you very much. I love reading your comments. I'm glad you've enjoyed watching and having a look at what I get up to on a day-to-day basis. It is a little bit irregular at the minute, obviously because of COVID, so I would be going out a little bit more into shops and things, but obviously I can't do that right now. So this evening then, probably it'd be the usual, either watching a bit of TV with my husband or a film, or we'll play some games. I don't think I'll do any sewing this evening, as I've already done some this morning. I did do a bit last night, but that was on a different project, so that was quite nice. But I was set up in the conservatory and it was really quite dark, and I was using navy material, so that wasn't the best, I have to say. So yes, so I shall leave it here for today, and I shall catch up with you again tomorrow. Good morning, happy Vlogmas day 9. So I'm about to go for a run this morning with my friend. We've actually come to Thornton Reservoir and I've not been here for years. It's not too far from my house, only about a 15-minute drive. And I think it's like a circular route around the reservoir, so I'm really looking forward to going out for a little run. I didn't get out yesterday, so I'm glad to be getting out again today. It's a dry day, so hopefully it'll be a nice pleasant run, although I think it might be a little bit muddy underfoot in some places. Yeah, it's a really beautiful place, so I'll turn the camera around in a minute just so I can show you. So last night I just played a couple of games with my husband, and then he ended up falling asleep on the sofa, bless him, because he was so tired. So yeah, I just watched a little bit of TV on my own, caught up with a few of my other sewing vloggers, so I didn't do any more sewing. So I'm looking forward to my sewing session this evening with Lucy. So yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more of my dungaree dress. Do feel a little bit tired myself today, actually. I've got a bit of a headache as well, so hopefully the fresh air do me a bit of good. So I shall see you shortly. So here's the reservoir, really picturesque around here. A couple of swans, there's obviously a runner. Yeah, really nice. So I'm looking forward to having a good old trot round this with my friend Tony. So I'm a little bit early, so I'm just waiting for her to arrive.
Right, so I'm back from my run with Tony. We had a nice run around the reservoir. It's quite muddy, so my trainers are nice and dirty now. And I've been back home and had my lunch, and I just had a prawn salad jacket potato. And I'm now just going to be doing a little bit of multitasking. I'm making a cake for my husband so he can take it to work with him, as he's already eaten the other one that I made for him on the weekend. And I'm making the curry for dinner this evening using the leftover roast chicken. And also I've got on my oven on the top my pans, as they have got quite a lot of burnt bits on the bottom from just use over the last few years. And I just took a little tip from Anna, You Got Me in Stitches. She was showing on one of her Vlogmas videos that she uses some washing powder to put on the bottom of the pan, and then you just pour boiling water in and leave it, and it sort of lifts the bits of burnt bits off the pan. So I'm going to try it. Now these are quite old stains on mine, so I don't know if it's going to work, so I'm going to just leave it to soak for the rest of the day, and then we'll see if it lifts it off later on. Yes, so the cake that I'm making, I'm just doing a Victoria sponge sandwich type cake. So it's just 8 ounces of margarine, 8 ounces of self-raising flour, 4 large eggs and 8 ounces of caster sugar. And then I just mix that all up and split it between 2 pans and put that in the oven for approximately 30 to 40 minutes. I just keep checking it on gas mark 3. And that just works perfectly for, you know, the amount of rise that I need. And then for the inside of the cake, I just layer it with jam and then some icing sugar, which is mixed with some of the spreadable baking spread as well. So what I do is I use 100 grams of the baking spread and then 200 grams of icing sugar, and mix that together, and that just makes a nice sugar icing to go inside the cake. So I shall crack on with mixing the cake, and then I'm going to be getting my curry prepped for this evening.
kick-started the oven, so that's nicely done. So I should be getting that put together in a little while. So I've finished the curry as well, so I've just put the lid on that and leaving the pans to soak a bit longer. As you can see, that one's quite bad. So I'm off to pick the boys up. Good morning, happy Vlogmas day 9. So I'm just back from the school run with the boys and I'm just waiting to go for my walk with Sally. We're going to go and do our usual 6-mile route and I'm really looking forward to getting out in the fresh air today. I have had the most horrendous headache for the past day or so. I just haven't been able to kick it off. And I don't usually suffer this badly with headaches, but yeah, I just can't shift this one for some reason. So I didn't actually have any tablets in the house. And last night when I went to bed, it just continued and I just had the most horrendous sleep. Luckily, I've got some peppermint essential oil and if you rub that on your temples, it does help. So I did do that in the middle of the night last night and so that helped a little bit. But this morning I've had to go and buy some tablets from the co-op to try and get rid of it. So I'm hoping the fresh air will help shift it as well. So unfortunately, I think I ended the video yesterday quite abruptly and I didn't actually pick the camera up again whilst filming my Zoom session with Lucy. So I'm sorry you didn't get to see that. I think I just completely forgot because my head was banging so badly. And I actually did cut the session with Lucy quite short because my head was just not there, you know, and I wasn't very talkative either. I just felt so rubbish. But I did manage to get a little bit more sewing done on my dress. I'm literally on the finishing line now and Lucy's trousers are coming along really nicely. They look really good. So we're both going to be putting a vlog up ready on Saturday to show what we've made. So I hope you take a look at that to see what we've made. So yeah, I'm just going to be going on my walk with Sally and then when I get back I am actually going to be doing a little bit more painting today, but this time in the twins' bedroom because they've got a wall that's all different multicoloured sections because of where a wardrobe that used to be against the wall that's not there anymore. So I'm just going to go over it with some plain coloured paint that we've got in stock in the garage. No finesse again, just literally to cover it over. So I might just show you a little bit of that. So I shall see you a bit later on. So I'm in the twins' bedroom and as you can see they have this lovely pink disgusting wall again with another dado rail. Then they have like a section where the wardrobe used to be, so there's just some lining paper there which needs painting over. So I'm literally just going to paint all this one colour, again not using really much finesse, but just to get it covered. It's even on the ceiling, so I'm going to have to do a bit of ceiling as well. So this would be interesting. I need to take that painting down. Yeah, so I'm not going to film me doing it, so you'll just see like progress shots. Right, so I've started painting and I've managed to do one coat across the walls. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, I haven't done up to the top yet because I haven't even got on the step ladder, but I've done sort of most of the wall. I've just done one coat. And I've got to this point where I've now run out of that paint, so I'm going to have to choose another colour. It's very similar colour, so I don't think it's going to really make much difference because I'm going to do another coat on this anyway. But I've just realised as I'm going around the corner that I'm actually going to have to do that whole wall all the way over to that corner, which I wasn't planning on doing. But then I've realised that this section definitely needs painting. I can't leave that, but then I can't actually do just half of that wall and have a line down where the windowsill starts. That would just look ridiculous. So I've set myself up for a little bit more of a challenge than I thought. So unfortunately it's going to take me longer, but never mind. It will look so much better once it is done. Yeah, it's harder to put on this wall because it's got wood chip wallpaper and lining paper, so it doesn't take as well, and I can see where I've been already that it needs another layer. Oh, okay. Catch you later. Right, I've been painting all afternoon. and I've still got quite a lot to do, so I have set myself up for more of a challenge than I thought. But you know, it is actually looking a lot better than it was, which is quite easy because it was looking so disgusting before. Yeah, so I've now on the second colour of coat, which was actually a slightly more browny colour, so it's more of a fawn kind of colour in comparison to what I was using. So I have used that as a second coat on the original painting that I'd already done. So that looks fine, but I need to wait for it to dry because I'm not sure if it's covered it all properly. And then I need to actually get a third colour paint out to finish the rest of the wall. I've got more paint on me than anywhere else, I think. Yeah, so it's now time to go and pick up the boys, so that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll just be getting tea ready tonight. It's just going to be a quick tea, and I think special because I've not had a lot of time to prepare today. So again, I haven't been able to go out for my run, but at least I did my 6-mile walk. So this evening I'm going to be finishing off my dress. All I've got to do is literally to hammer in the buckles and buttons on the straps to make sure I get the length right, because I've managed to finish the rest of the dress yesterday evening, so that was quite good. Yeah, my headache's gone away, so I feel so much better. I've got a little bit more energy. So I'm going to leave it here for now, and then hopefully I'll either catch up with you later or I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning everyone, happy Vlogmas day 11. So I've got a really busy day planned today. I've just dropped the boys off at school and come home, and then had to go back down again because I had forgotten Harry's homework book. Been a nightmare recently forgetting things. Yes, so I've got to film my vlog this morning for the Swap Share Sew challenge. I've now finished my dress, which I'm wearing, so I'll show you that in just a moment. And then I've got to finish off the painting that I was doing yesterday in the twins' room so I can push their bed back into place. And then I'm going to be picking up our Christmas tree, so that's really exciting, and the boys are dead excited to see it for when they come home from school. But it won't be decorated, we're going to save that to do as a family tomorrow, so that's our day tomorrow, decorating the whole house with our Christmas decorations, so we'll be getting in the festive spirit. Yeah, so I'm going to go and film my vlog now, then get the painting done, and then pick up the tree, and hopefully I'm going to get all that done today, as I also need to nip to the shop just to pick up a few essentials for our weekend as normal, you know, things like bread and milk. Anyway, so the dress that I'm wearing then is the Emily Pinafore dress, and I've paired it up with a Teal in the Buttons Agnes top, which I made years ago. It's a denim dungaree dress, as you can see. Really like the style of this one. It's a little bit more A-line than the Cleo dress by Teal in the Buttons. I ended up using some different dungaree style buckles, as these just fitted the straps much better than the prim style ones. I've added a handmade label onto the front. I just thought that added a little bit of something. And I've top stitched all of my pockets, etc., with gold top stitching thread. And yeah, I've got the back pockets on as well. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so I'm really happy with how it's turned out. The only thing I don't like about this dress is that the straps cross over at the back and they don't lie very flat. I prefer the ones on the Cleo dress, so next time I will make that adaptation to try and make the straps exactly the same at the back. It's just the way they're cut, I think, so I just need to cut them slightly differently. Anyway, so I'm going to crack on and I shall catch you a bit later on. Okay, progress update on the wall. So yeah, I've got this one all done in one colour, which was the more fawny, excuse me, creamy kind of colour. Yeah, so that's got 2 coats on. And then over this side, I don't know if even you'll be able to tell the difference, but it is a slightly yellower tinge to that wall. And I've done that up to the ceiling and on the ceiling as well. So you can see that that is a yellower colour up there, but it does go a lot better than what that horrible corally pink colour was. So it's much better. I'm really pleased. I've gone all the way along where the curtains are, all the way up to the corner of the room, and then all the way down that sort of blank wall towards the end, because obviously the other side is wallpapered. So I'm now going to leave it to dry and go and pick up the Christmas tree and just touch up any pieces that need doing, and then I can move the bed back and get this back into a room for them. Ho ho ho, 1 Christmas tree picked up. There will be some very excited boys later. Oh, blimey, I feel like I'm racing against the clock today. So vlog done, painting done for the minute, Christmas tree picked up. Now I'm going to have a bit of lunch. It is 1:05. So I'm going to be able to go upstairs, I think, do another lick of paint where necessary, and hopefully tidy up a little bit, get cleaned up, and it'll be time to pick the boys up. I mean, where does the day go? Crazy. Yeah, so I'll catch you in a bit. Ah, there we are, all done. So everything's put back to where it should be. Gosh, it's a bit bright. Yeah, so that is so much better. I'm really happy with that. I mean, the wall looks still a little bit bare at the minute, but there's a shelf that needs to go back up, which has all their books inside, which are down there at the moment. And that's our little stash of library books that we picked up the other day. Yeah, so much better. I think they'll be happy with that. My husband will probably say, why have you put the bed back? Why have you put the bed back? I need to put the shelf up, but hey ho, he can help me move it again. Right, that's everything off my to-do list ticked off for today. So I'm really pleased I managed to get everything done that I needed to. So now I'm just going to nip off to the shop before I have to pick the boys up, just to pick up some essentials for the weekend. And yeah, that's it for today. So I'm going to sign off here. All I'm going to do this afternoon, or this evening rather, is just spend a chilled out evening with my husband. You know, the usual, watch a bit of TV, or maybe have a game or two, or if he's not really up for anything, if he's really tired from work, then my sewing machine will be coming out again. So yes, I shall see you tomorrow. I'll sort those out, they're not for that. What are you doing, boys?
Decorating the tree! Decorating the tree! I know what's in Hannah. A tiny one! What I am? Tiny one, Harry. What tiny?
What have you got, Thomas?
Decorating our Christmas tree!
Happy Vlogmas Day 12. So on the 12th day of Christmas, we've put up our Christmas tree, and I'm really happy with it. I think it looks really nice and festive. We've got it in our conservatory this time. We usually have it in the bay window in the front room, but as the boys are actually using that as their playroom at the moment, we thought we would have it in our conservatory, so when we're sitting in our back room with the double doors open, we can see the lovely lights on the tree. And it's yeah, looking really nice and festive, and the boys helped me to decorate it today. They've actually just gone out with Simon, my husband, to go and see if they can quickly see Father Christmas as he's coming around the roads on his sleigh. So unfortunately I haven't gone with them, so I can't take any footage, as we literally only just found out that he was coming. So my husband just quickly sort of got them all out the door to go off. Yeah, so we've had a lovely day just getting the decorations up in the house. So I will take some footage in the week when I get a chance, so you can have a look. I mean, we don't have a lot, to be honest, but you know, it's what it is. So I hope you're all having a good day anyway. We're just going to have a chilled out evening this evening. On a Saturday we usually just sit together and watch a film and just have some sort of eats that are quite easy to eat. So I hope you all have a nice evening yourself, and I shall end it here and see you possibly tomorrow. If not, then I will start my new week again on Monday. Just quickly to say, I am wearing the Tilling the Buttons Cocoa top, just with a pair of ready-to-wear jeans, and this is in just the navy and white stripy Ponte Roma fabric, which I got from Sew Me Sunshine. Okay, so